Welcome to This Explainer. You've probably seen a ton of those 30-minute tutorials lately, right? The ones promising you can build a fully functional WhatsApp AI receptionist on your lunch break. And look, it's true that half an hour is plenty of time to slap together a prototype that replies to a text or two. But there's this massive, and I mean massive, unspoken gap between a slick little demo and actual real-world production deployment. So today, we're tearing down that illusion. We're going to dig into the harsh realities, the scaling roadblocks, the hidden pricing traps, and the rigid compliance walls that catch literally every beginner completely off guard when they try to deploy this stuff for actual paying clients. So here's our game plan for today. We're covering 1. The 24/7 lead opportunity. 2. The hidden token cost trap. 3. Meta guidelines and ban risks. 4. The battle-tested tech stack. 5. Solving the client handoff. And finally, 6. Winning conversation design. All right, let's jump straight into section 1. The 24/7 lead opportunity, plugging the leaky bucket. Local businesses are practically begging developers to solve this huge headache. It's the classic leaky bucket problem. Think about it. They spend thousands on marketing only to watch those hard-earned leads just slip right through their fingers because they physically can't answer the phone fast enough. The numbers here are wild. Roughly 80% of WhatsApp messages from potential customers come in outside of normal business hours. And up to 60% of all those inquiries end up being completely ignored. That is a staggering amount of lost revenue just left on the table. But an AI receptionist plugs that leak instantly. By firing back a reply in under 90 seconds, 24/7, businesses can actually salvage those leads and turn them into booked appointments. That's the dream, right? But getting there, well, it requires navigating a bit of a minefield. Now, right before we bridge that gap from rosy expectation to the harsh reality of production, do me a quick favor. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel at BrandTechOff. Engaging with the channel is the best way to make sure you keep getting these in-depth, no-nonsense technical explainers. Okay, moving on to section 2, the hidden token cost trap, quietly erasing agency margins. So when you watch a basic tutorial, you see a bot reply to a single message. Easy, right? And incredibly cheap. But here's the back-end reality nobody talks about. For an AI receptionist to actually be useful, it needs context. It has to remember what the user said 2 minutes ago. To pull that off in production, you have to pass a rolling history of the last 15 to 20 messages back to the AI, with every single new text the user sends, which means your data payload is just getting bigger and bigger with every turn of the conversation, scaling your large language model token usage exponentially. And because of that, you get hit with this brutal double billing reality. You're paying Meta's official category-based conversation fees, plus you're footing those massive LLM context token bills. And if you're running developer agents like Claude Code to build these integrations, tests have shown up to a 4.7x token overhead cost multiplier. It's crazy. If you're an agency charging your client a flat monthly retainer, these compounding memory costs are just going to quietly and rapidly devour your entire profit margin. To survive this, you absolutely have to structure your client contracts using a hybrid pricing model, a flat subscription fee combined with usage-based billing to cover those token costs. Next up, Section 3, Meta Guidelines and Ban Risks, Surviving the Verification Nightmare. Look, building the bot is just half the battle. Dodging the Meta ban hammer is a whole different beast. And 24 is the magic number here. It's the absolute cornerstone of Meta's WhatsApp Business API guidelines. Meta enforces this highly rigid 24-hour customer service window, and that countdown clock starts ticking the exact second you receive the user's last incoming message. Inside that 24-hour window, your AI has total free rein to send dynamic, conversational, free-form replies generated on the fly. It's great, but the second you step 1 minute outside of that window, the game completely changes. If your AI tries to proactively follow up with a lead on day 2, it will straight up fail to send unless you trigger a rigid, pre-approved meta message template. This is why people who just follow basic tutorials are totally shocked when their bots randomly stop working the next day. They're completely in the dark about this fundamental API rule. And it gets worse, because the ban risks are severe. If you try to cut corners, bypassing official meta verification by using unofficial wrappers like Bailey's or Puppeteer, just say goodbye to your number right now. That triggers an immediate, permanent ban, no warnings. But hey, even on official API lines, you're not entirely safe. If your AI is programmed to send pushy follow-ups, users are going to click report spam. Get enough of those clicks, and Meta's automated systems will suspend your account. Plus, you've got strict regulatory hurdles. Depending on the niche, especially things like medical or dental, your AI must securely handle sensitive data to maintain HIPAA and GDPR compliance. Oh, and it absolutely must flawlessly respect stop, opt-out commands, and localized quiet hours. Let's transition to Section 4, the battle-tested tech stack, the production-grade blueprint. So here is the exact architectural blueprint you need to build a compliant, rock-solid business asset instead of a fragile prototype. First off, for communications and compliance, you have to use the official WhatsApp Business API. Literally no exceptions here. Next, for your conversational brain, you route your preferred LLM either directly or through a gateway like OpenRouter. Then, to actually convert these leads, you plug in a dedicated booking engine. Think Cal.com or Google Calendar. And finally, for logging lead contacts and maintaining session state, you tie the whole shebang together with a robust CRM like Go High Level, HubSpot, or Airtable. Now, we're actively moving away from clunky, expensive middleware like Zapier. Instead, modern builders are leveraging Claude Code alongside the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. This lets you spin up direct production-grade API integrations and connect all these different servers programmatically using just plain English commands. It's a total game changer that creates a significantly faster, tighter, and way more resilient backend. Moving into Section 5, solving the client handoff, escaping the black box. Handing over a custom-coded AI to a non-technical client? Yeah, that is an operational nightmare. If you build the system entirely in raw code, your client is essentially trapped in a black box. The very moment they want to bump up the price of a haircut from $30 to $35 or just tweak the bot's tone slightly, they are completely locked out. And instead of running a scalable agency, you're going to find yourself fielding frantic phone calls at 2 a.m. just to fix a simple typo in a prompt. Nobody wants that. To solve this, you absolutely have to build a visual harness. By using platforms like Landbot or deploying Go High Level snapshots, you're giving your clients a super user-friendly canvas. They can jump in and independently tweak their system prompts, update their pricing, and adjust their business logic on the fly. The really heavy, powerful AI code is still running securely underneath it all, but the client feels totally empowered, and more importantly, you are freed from an endless stream of unbillable support calls. All right, our final section, number 6, winning conversation design, closing up to 80% of leads. At the end of the day, none of this incredible technology means a thing if the AI agent doesn't actually get the booking. You make that happen through deterministic rails. An AI receptionist shouldn't just be out there casually chatting, it needs to guide the conversation. The absolute best designs qualify the user within the very first 3 messages to make sure they're actually a fit. And when it's time to schedule, never, ever ask an open-ended question like, "So, when are you free?" You always want to offer 2 specific time slots. Something like, "I have 2 p.m. on Tuesday or 10 a.m. on Wednesday, which works better for you?" Doing that drastically spikes your conversion rates. And lastly, you have to know exactly when the AI needs to just stop talking. Which brings us to the ultimate safety protocol, the escape hatch. Because look, no matter how flawed your prompt is, edge cases are going to happen. A customer might have a really complex pricing dispute, some highly specific medical question, or just a unique complaint. The literal millisecond the AI detects this kind of friction, it must instantly halt its responses and seamlessly transfer the entire thread to a shared team inbox. This guarantees that those tricky situations are always handled by a real human team member with actual empathy and nuance, which completely protects the business's reputation. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. Now that you know about the hidden token costs, the incredibly rigid meta compliance windows, the real risk of number bans, and why you absolutely need a visual client handoff, ask yourself, are you building a truly scalable business asset, or are you just cobbling together an incredibly expensive, margin-draining prototype? The difference entirely comes down to respecting the production walls we've unpacked today. Thanks